Hello everyone, it's your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Black the One and Only here with another exciting live stream, and I'm pretty sure I messed up the title of this video. I think I put the wrong date. We're about to see. Should be Nickabenson Vlog 5/5/2019, aka Happy Cinco de Mayo. But I think I put 5/6/2019. Yo, Nani, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. How's your day today? Do you have any questions for your boy? Do you have any discussion topics you'd like to talk about on the live stream? And did I mess up the title of the vlog? Like, did I put 5/6/2019 instead of 5/5/2019? If you could check that for me, I'd greatly appreciate it. Because I meant to put 5/5/2019. Also, by the way, we have a couple sweet birthdays today. Happy birthday to your boy John Mason, and happy birthday to Kirby. Nani said I put 5/6. Yeah, I messed that up. I'm gonna fix that as soon as I can get this live chat up. It should also give me the option to fix that title. Yo, John Mason, happy birthday! I just did a birthday shout out to you and Kirby. I'm not sure if you're aware, but you and Kirby both have a birthday like on the 5th, like on Cinco de Mayo. John Mason said literally just finished streaming. Yo, John Mason, what stream did you do on your birthday? Bow, 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 bow. John Mason said, oh, cool. Yeah, most deaf. Right now, I'm trying to get the live chat up on my computer. It's just easier to read up there. But YouTube recently has been really slow about bringing up the live chat on the live dashboard for whatever reason. John Mason said, how are you? I'm doing well. Today has been mainly just being busy. It wasn't a lot of like chilling out or like hanging out with friends or anything like that. And then John Mason said, oh, did arena. Arena. When you say arena, a lot of things come up like in my mind. What do you mean? What do you mean by arena? Magic the Gathering arena? Is that what you're talking about? John Mason said they drank a lot of alcohol for the first time. I've never drank. Uh, what? How was that? How did that go? John Mason said Magic the Gathering arena MB, and then he said, "Yup." Oh, the MB was my bad. No, you're good, dude. How was drinking a whole bunch of alcohol for the first time? I've had multiple friends tell me about their experience of like deciding to just go ham for their first time, to varying degrees. Rocky Ford said hi there, that he's doing good today. And then he said, good Cinco de Mayo. Oh, happy Cinco de Mayo to you too, Rocky. Rocky Ford said, can you check out my two new Soul Calibur videos? Ooh, Rocky Ford dropping these Soul Calibur videos and Yu-Gi-Oh! Dungeon Dice Monsters. So for Dungeon Dice Monsters, here we can have a very interesting conversation. I feel like they're both way more into Dungeon Dice Monsters than me personally, though I do think the Dungeon Dice Monster episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh! Gi-Oh! Were definitely a lot of fun. And I believe they did actually release stuff for if you wanted to do Dungeon Dice Monsters, but it was something that didn't really take off. Nani says right now he's grinding on Dokkan. What are you grinding for? Like, is there a new summon that's out? What are you trying to get? Let's see. Do 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 do. Oh, and then happy Cinco de Mayo to you as well. What are your two new Soul Calibur videos? Let's see. Scrolling down, John Mason said, "Well, I didn't get drunk and drank 8 different things, including white oak. What is white oak? Like, what is the significance of that? Also, congrats on not getting drunk. I've had a few different friends who either discover that they're like lightweights or they discover that they can handle a lot more than they thought. I've also had friends who have like drank a whole bunch and realized they don't like drinking pretty quickly. Let's see. Kel said, hey, what up? Yo, Kels, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. How's your day today? Do you have any questions for your boy? And do you have any discussion topics you'd like to talk about on the stream? Also, real quick, I just wanted to give another shout out now that there are more people here. Happy birthday to John Mason and your boy Kirby. Not sure if Kirby will tune into this particular video, but I made sure to tell him happy birthday on Facebook. Let's see. Ryan said hot singles in your area. Yo, Ryan. Your boy Rocky Ford earlier mentioned Dungeon Dice Monsters. You might want to jump in on that conversation. Yo, Ryan, how's your day today? Do you have any questions for your boy? And do you have any discussion topics you'd like to talk about on the stream? Nani said it's the World Tournament. Oh, okay. So you're grinding on Dokkan, facing off against other players in that World Tournament, I see. John Mason said saw in game, by the way. No spoilers, please, John Mason. I've already seen it. I did a spoiler talk video on the channel. But just in case other people haven't seen it, I want to avoid any in-game spoilers on here. Though definitely feel free to hit me up on the Amino, like in a private chat. I definitely would be down to talk about Avengers in-game spoilers. As a matter of fact, if you guys want to talk in-game spoilers, we could make an Avengers in-game spoiler chat on the Amino, like a chat that exclusively talks about spoilers and is in the title, so that people know not to get in there. And we could definitely get into like some hardcore spoiler talk if you guys want. Kel said, "Why's it gotta be white?" Since John Mason mentioned that he had some white oak. John Mason said, "Oh, and cool." He said, "Lol, I don't know." He said, "I also drink black and white." And he said, "Thanks, man. Oh, no problem. Anytime." Nani said that he got drunk before and he said it's nasty. He says it's not for me. He says, "Every time I smell Hennessy, I want to throw up." Ooh, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, it definitely depends on the type of person. Some people really vibe with drinking, other people don't. Kel said, "Happy birthday, John Mason." Hey, Kel spreading that birthday love. John Mason said, "Oh, yeah, Nick, if you check May 5th, 2005, you'll see the best golden birthday." Golden birthday? What does that even mean? John Mason said, "Thanks, Kels." And he said, "Oh, cool, no problem." He said, "And I'll say, and I hope it's fine, is that it's overrated. I think alcohol is just bad, to be honest." That's fair. I've never drank. I personally feel like I don't really need it to have fun. So I'm like, why drink alcohol when you can drink milkshakes? Because I have an addiction. I have a problem with milkshakes already. Let's see. Kel said, "Oh, Jet, how about the reality machine doesn't work in timelines outside of the one it was made in? Then why wouldn't I use the reality machine to imagine a reality machine that works in other timelines?" You know what I mean? John Mason said, "No, I mean Endgame is overrated, but alcohol too." Interesting. Um, could you, without spoilers, tell us why you feel like Endgame is overrated? Or do you feel like you'd have to spoil it in order to talk about how it's overrated? Also, John Mason, there's been a big push for more fan art and fan fiction on the channel. So if you're interested, feel free to submit 200 word fan fictions to the Amino, 200 word or less, and I do dramatic readings of the fan fictions live during these vlog streams. And also, if you make any fan art that features your boy, I make sure to also feature that in the vlogs. Once I get enough fan art, I want to make like a big video where I talk about like each piece of fan art and talk about what I like and dislike about it and like what I think is cool about each piece. I'm waiting to get about like 10 pieces of fan art featuring your boy before I do a video like that. But you helped really start that trend, John Mason, with the candle jet, and it's kind of grown from there. So I definitely appreciate that. John Mason also, I'm not sure if you've written fan fiction before, John Mason, that featured your boy. I know Kells has written fan fiction in the past. I've gotten some gay Zarbon fan fiction in the past. But we have done fan fiction before. That has been a thing. Let's see. John Mason. Oh, wait. The next one is Kells. Kells said, "I am a full grown adult that does adult things, and I love alcohol and in game." So I see that your boy Kells is really vibing with alcohol and in game. John Mason said, "Oh, yeah, I started working on the story, by the way." Wait, only 200 words? Okay, so the way that we're doing the fan fiction is that if it's longer than 200 words, I recommend that you break it into parts. So you have individual parts that are each like 200 words each. And then I'll do like one part per stream. That being said, if you wrote like a 5 part story, it would take me 5 streams to get through all of it. But if you just did 5 different stories, I would do the dramatic reading of each and every one of those stories on stream. So it's kind of weird. It's the difference between one long story and 5 shorter stories. I'm more fine with reading individual shorter stories than sticking to one longer story, if that makes sense for the dramatic readings. Let's see. John Mason Lowell Kells. He said, "Nice. I'm glad to help." He said, "I'm currently working on the one with the Green Lantern." Oh, ballin'. I'm glad that you vibed with the Green Lantern one. It seemed like people weren't really taking on to that one. So I'm glad that you're digging it. Kells right now is working on a fan art slash fan fiction that's based on me and your boy Winslow existing in the Dragon Ball universe as time patrollers. Kel said, "Yeah, I had a 9 part fanfic, lol." Then John Mason said, "Oh, Nick, something interesting happened." So my parents are divorced, by the way, as you may know, and I was going through some stress by dad. So I couldn't take it and called out to anyone in my mind to save me. And then my mom calls my phone and she said that she heard my voice and it freaked it out. And if anything is wrong. Oh, interesting. That actually is like a really interesting experience to have, like between you and your mom. Um, my mom has a lot of stories that are like that. I remember once when I like lost my virginity or whatever, my mom said that she had like a bad feeling or whatever, and she like hit me up and she was like asking me about it on the phone, like she knew. John Mason said, I was like, okay, seems I got some powers. Then Nani said, huh? Yeah, when I lost my virginity, and I was like going on dates and stuff with this one girl, my mom was like, something's up. I hadn't even like seen my mom in a hot minute. And she was like texting me like, I got a bad feeling. What's going on? What's going on? Something's going down. And then John Mason said, lol, mom knows, I guess. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Kel said, John Mason, I think you have astral projection. He put astro projection, which is honestly a cool name. Ryan said, Jet having sex is bad. True. She didn't say that she just like could tell. She just was like, something's wrong. Ryan said, your mom sensed a disturbance in the force. I feel like John Mason's mom also feels the disturbances in the force. It might be a mom thing. John Mason said, I have left my body in dreams, Kells, but in dreams, although they still feel really real. When I was younger, I used to be really into like the concept of like astral projections and out of body experiences and stuff like that. I have an old online community that you can still find. It's called Weird Community Wikia. And I used to write about like psychic abilities and stuff like that. I used to be really into it. It was when I graduated high school, I was still doing the crime fighting stuff. And I contacted Foxfire, who is a real life superhero, someone who like patrols and like fights crime, who's also like a shaman. And I asked them if they could like teach me about like shamanism and things of that nature. And that's when I got really into like psychic abilities, and I used to like astral project, and there was like a whole online community where you could like talk with other people who were into it. As I've gotten older, I don't really think I can astral project anymore. I've like tried, and it's just not the same. I don't really know what's different. I feel like if I was to get back into it again, I could do it, but I feel like nowadays I like try and it just doesn't really hit. Let's see. Kel said, Jed, I think your mom has virgin sensing abilities. My goodness. They didn't work on my brother. My mom had to like ask my brother, and my brother was just like, yeah. He just came clean about it. It wasn't a thing where my mom was like, do 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 do. You know what I mean? Let's see. Oh, also, today has been like really busy. I had like a little bit of time to relax at the beginning of the day, and then it was all trying to get a job from like that point forward. So at the beginning, I exercised, I had some ribs, I had some jalapeno chips, I showered, and then immediately after that, I was just doing stuff to get a job. So I contacted Jordan Busby. He was my supervisor for my internship that I had last summer. I hit him up on LinkedIn and by email about possibly working together again at Amerdek. I applied to a software development position at the Georgia Tech Research Institute. I applied to a cyber assessment engineer position at MITRE. I applied to an IT specialist position with the FBI. I applied to two different software development positions at the Federal Reserve. I applied to a technology analyst help desk position at the Federal Reserve. I emailed Amberdeck directly about my current job hunt. I emailed DNI directly about my current job hunt. I emailed the head of SMAP giving him an update on my current job hunt. The head of SMAP actually hit me back up. He was like, yo, since you graduated, send me like your current resume, and then we'll see if we can like find you something. So that's the only callback I've had from like all the shit that I've done today. I also emailed Tommy Morris to update him on my job hunt. So that's like all the stuff that I did today, trying my best to like get a job. I got those conditional job offers in Maryland, but I'm trying to see if I can find something local, which is why I've just been going ham, just trying to apply to everything. I've had to like sign into like multiple different agency websites. and have to like make my own account. So now I have accounts on like all these websites, and each of them have their own process that you have to go through before you can even start applying for stuff. So it's just been a long day, but now that I've like actually used all these different sites, now I don't have to make accounts. I can just log in and I can just do the shit that I need to do, which is pretty nice. Ooh, let's see. John Mason said, "Guys, I'm a bit tired. I'm gonna nap. Nick, I'll be there tomorrow. For longer, most likely. Are you doing the fan poll? Tomorrow I am doing the fan poll, so that is going to be a thing. So tomorrow I'm gonna do the fan poll at 1 p.m. My big focus tomorrow, outside of doing the fan poll, is going to be getting ready for the job fair that I have Tuesday. Fingers crossed. Let's see. John Mason said, I'm home all day tomorrow. And he said, oh, damn, wow. He said, also, that new Logic and Eminem rap, though. I did not know that was a thing. Logic and Eminem did something. John Mason said, please review it, lol. John Mason. You gotta vote in that fan poll, John Mason. So here's what I've been doing recently for the fan polls to make it a little bit easier for you guys to vote. So what I do is immediately after the vlog, I like film the fan poll video so that you don't have to wait hours after the vlog is out to be able to vote. So that as soon as the vlog's over, John Mason then said, dude, he's like, I'm gonna take a nap. He's like, I'm going to sleep. How am I gonna vote in the fan poll? And then John Mason said, listen to it now. To the Logic and Eminem thing. Do I have headphones here? I do. And then he said, oh my God. I got you, John Mason. John Mason's like, it's my birthday. Where are these tunes at? And then he said, please. Hold on, I gotta untangle the headphone thingy. Oh yeah, so tomorrow the big focus is gonna be trying to get ready for the job fair Tuesday. Well, it's weird to say tomorrow, today, because it is the 6th already. Speaking of which, I need to fix the title of this video. The title does not properly represent Cinco de Mayo. Or your boy's birthday. Excuse me. Do 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 do. Bow out, bow out. Okay, I'm gonna change that 6 to a 5. Aw, snap. John Mason said, alright, good luck on that, Nick. Thank you kindly. Right now I'm looking up the Logic Eminem song. What is it called? Like, what's the title of the Logic Eminem song? Do 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 do. I'm just gonna react to it live. Do 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 do. Dun 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 dun. Do 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 do. It's called Homicide. Okay. It's 4 minutes? Why the fuck is this a 4-minute song? Also, I'm gonna pause it. I'm gonna pause it real quick. Why is it 4 minutes? I'm gonna spell Eminem's name wrong incorrectly because it's easier that way. Logic and Eminem. So I'm gonna have to pull up a lyric sheet. Otherwise, I'm not gonna understand what's going on. So I have the lyric sheet up for Homicide. Why is it 4 minutes? John Mason said the last part isn't part of the song. Oh, okay. That's somewhat confusing. So here are the lyrics for anyone who wants to follow along with the lyrics. So I'm gonna scroll down. Also, apparently the lyrics were verified by Eminem. So we know these lyrics are correct. So I'm going to start playing it. I'm going to look at the lyrics. You guys can also watch this. Sorry that I'm so quiet. Yeah, he did say killing this shit a lot. So far it's like pretty okay. It's like a conversation kind of rap, and it's like a fast flow. It's not really conversation. It's like he's has a complete thought, I guess I could say. Okay. So the next verse is gonna be Eminem. Right now, Logic's still doing the hook. I like his bars. Eminem has a lot of bars here. Fuck, it's so long. John Mason said, it's pretty good too. He said, I never really listened to Logic, but and now I like Logic too. I like Logic. I liked Eminem when I was like younger. Nowadays, I'm not really into Eminem, but I feel like Eminem's bars were really good. I think Logic was just kind of going fast, and he was telling like a coherent thought, but I didn't really feel bars. I feel like Eminem had a lot of good bars very consistently. I like the vent air duct line. That was pretty good. Who the fuck is Chris De Isla? Excuse me. Yeah, what the? That ending was really weird. It's just kind of there to be there. Does it have like some cool bars in it? I'm gonna read the outro. Look what I'm planning, planning. I'm planning to do all this while you're panicking. Okay, that rhymed at least. And you're looking and staring at mannequins. And I'm going to Fannigan's. Trying to get up a plan against all of the Blana Kazanica Fam Bam Bananigans. Wall of all the Bana Kazanica Hannah and a cabana. You're in a cab. I'm in a cabana and a Janet. I'm in a cabana chanting all this stand up banter. While you don't got the stamina, you're lacking the stamina. You're lacking the stamina while you're divorcing Harrison Ford, and I'm in a Porsche on the floorboards while I'm world touring. You're using way too many napkins, papkins, lapkins, chapka. You're using chapstick and napkins while I'm babkin, flapping around like a babkin. Flemina babada tamada panica jamada jikamka. Damn a can of pada. What the fuck was that last part? That outro is ridiculous. John Mason said, "I don't know, lol," and he said, "Haha, yeah." That was just weird. I'm on the floorboards of a Porsche. John Mason said, "Dead." I think the last part is when it gets really egregious. It's just one long, I guess, scat is the best way to describe it. But yeah, all in all, I'd say Logic's part was kind of weak. Like I said, it was fast flow and a coherent thought, but there weren't really bars there. Eminem had a bars like a crunch bar, fucking it's just filled with everything. I feel like Eminem put a lot of work into his. I think Logic had a fast flow, and what he said made sense. It was like he was just talking to the viewer. That's why I was saying it was more of like a conversation kind of thing, but it's not like a back and forth thing. It's just him talking to you, and he has coherent thoughts, and he's going quickly, and that's about it. He did have some flow variety. There were parts where he would change up like his flow, even though he stayed consistently fast, and that was interesting. But I feel like Logic's part was kind of weak compared to Eminem. I'm surprised I'm saying that. Like I said, I used to vibe with Eminem as a kid. Now that I'm older, I don't really vibe with Eminem as much, but I feel like he did a better job on this song than Logic. I feel like Logic didn't really pull up his weight. I guess he couldn't handle the bars. Let's see. So John Mason said, but the whole rap though, Eminem was great though. I do feel like Eminem did a great job. I don't know how I feel about that last part. That last part was weird. I'm curious if that last part would be in like a music video or not, because I think it'd be interesting if it was, and it just showed somebody say that. Gosh, that was ridiculous. Okay, but yeah, those are my thoughts on Homicide. I'd say all in all, I liked 1/3 of the rap better than I liked the other two parts. A 1 out of 3 is not that good. I guess I could be a little bit more lenient. I could give Logic like a half point. Feel like if he had some bars there, I'd really fuck with it a little bit more. That's a 1.5 out of 3. That's about like a 50. Still kind of gross. But hey, that would be my review. So a 1.5 out of 3, or a 5 out of 10 if you want to like put it on a 10 scale, or 50 out of 100 if you want to give them an F. So I mean that's my review of Logic Homicide. Not bad. Like the Eminem part. Oh, and Logic's hook was good. I did like the hook. Maybe because the hook is good and the hook takes up multiple parts of the song, I'll give it a 1.75 out of 3. So better than a 50 for sure. I don't know how to adapt that into 10 off the top of my head. I kind of do. Hold on. So it'd be 1.75 times 3. 1.75 times 3. So that's like 5.25. It's still like a 50. It's like a 52. Uh, let's see. John Mason said, thanks a lot for checking it out. I feel tired though. I did a lot these past 2 days, so need some rest. But hey, I'll be here tomorrow. Thanks for the birthday wishes though. Haha. Hope you have a good day tomorrow. Also, the hook was really good, I thought. I agree. I do think the Hulk, I almost said the Hulk. I do think the hook is pretty dope. Thank you for tuning in. I'm glad that you had a wonderful birthday, and I'll see you tomorrow. I don't know what's going to win the fan poll. Probably Yu Gi Oh! That's what I imagine. Kel said, can you hit up those amino DMs? Of course. I wonder what Kels has in these amino DMs. Is it Avengers in-game spoiler talk? Is it more fan art slash fan fiction? John Mason said, yeah. Okay, I'm coming in. Where are these DMs at? Let's see. John Mason said, sure, Kels. I left a like. Let's see. So Kel said, here's a quick sketch of Windjet. Let me know what I should change slash keep. This is more like a rough draft. So your boy Kels has a rough draft of the Winslow Jet Fusion for his Dragon Ball fan art slash fan fiction. For one, the thing that I want to immediately compliment you on is the concept of making the spike hair droop down to emulate the dread feel to where it still kind of looks like dreads, and also emulate like how Winslow's hair is. I feel like that's a great way to fuse them together. I didn't know exactly how you were going to fuse them together, but I feel like that makes a lot of sense. I really fuck with that. I see you got the Pataras on. Makes sense. I like that he keeps the lab coat, but he gets the robot arms, so he still gets like the sentient robot suits, like power arms. I think that's pretty dope. Um, I guess the only thing I would ask about is where's the watch? But I guess the watch could be like inside the arm, maybe, or the watch could just be not visible at this angle. I mean, the angle one, I guess I wouldn't entirely understand because it'd be like, wouldn't it be here or like here? Since watches go all the way around. But that's not here or there. I actually really dig what you've got so far, and I like how you fuse the outfits together. That being said, I would say the outfit is definitely more on the Winslow side than it is on the Jet side. Because for the Jet side, we got like the arms. For the Winslow side, we got your boy's torso, waist, legs. Uh, the only Winslow piece that we like missed out on would be Winslow's arms, and Winslow didn't keep his glasses. I got that 20/20 vision. I was able to bring his eyes all the way to the highest level when fused together. We only took the best parts, not the worst parts. That's why we got more of Winslow's style and outfit than we got other robot parts. Let's see. What would I think would be interesting? I think if the robot part was the arms and the legs, that'd be interesting. Because once we're actually in a fighting situation, our arms and legs could be reinforced by the robot armor for better like punches and kicks. You know what I mean? So it would be a way for us to have like stronger attacks by having the robot part on like the arms and legs. And it would also show more of the two designs combined together. I definitely do like what you have here though. This looks sharp as fuck. But I think if it also was on the legs, then you could see more of how they were a fusion of both characters. I love what you did with the face. I wouldn't change anything with that. I think that's really dope. Because Winslow is definitely more clean shaven, so I understand him like not having like the facial hair. But I think the way that you fused the hair together on the top of the head was ballin'. That just makes a lot of sense. So 100% vibe with that. I think that's pretty dope. Check it out. Let's see. Now I need to plug back in my phone. Let's see. Kel said, "Yeah, I'll add the Robo Legs." Okay, ballin'. And Kel said, "I forgot to draw the watch." Lol. No problem. I definitely understand. The watch is weird. One thing that we could do to make the watch, I guess, something that could be easier to incorporate and make more sense, because I understand that with the robot arms, it might be weird to also have a watch on top. What if the belt was like the reality machine part? So the belt has like the little crock pot with like the eyes and the mouth on it. And then you could be like, oh, actually, the idea of using the belt kind of reminds me of Kamen Rider too, because Kamen Rider likes to transform by like using a special belt. So having the reality machine be like made into a belt instead of a watch has kind of like some Kamen Rider vibes, and it might be just a cooler design than a watch. But that's totally up to you. I'm just like shooting ideas off the top of my head. But I definitely like what you're doing with the fan art. I definitely want to see Winslow's opinion on all this. I kind of wish Winslow was just on the Amino. That way I could be like, look at it, look at it. I think Winslow's been on the Amino in the past, but I think it's something that he's more or less just dipped out of. Kel said, how about it doesn't work in other timelines, but you didn't know for the sake of the fight? I guess if that's the case, like if the reality machine doesn't work in other timelines, my question would be, how long have I been a time patroller? Like, I'd be like, hold on, I've had a reality machine, and is this like the first time that I've like ever gone to another timeline? Because I feel like that's the only way that I would know that it like didn't work. You know what I mean? Well, sorry, not know, but that'd be the only way that I didn't know that it didn't work. Because I feel like as soon as I learned that the reality machine doesn't work in other timelines, I'd be like, we gotta go find the Dr. Slump of this timeline so he can like make me a reality machine watch. And really, I wouldn't even have to make him make me one. I could just run up on Dr. Slump and he has the reality machine with him. I could just be like, and then it like pops out of the machine. I put that bitch on. Let's see. Kel said you've been a patroller for a while, but you've only gotten the watch recently. Oh, I see. Yo. But I feel like within the context of the story, I'd be kind of disappointed when I went to another timeline and it didn't work. I'd be like, finally, I can literally do whatever I want. Our job was gonna be so much easier. We're gonna roll up on Super Saiyan 4 baby, and we're gonna put that nigga in a crib. I'm gonna imagine him a prison that looks like a crib. It's gonna be embarrassing for him, hilarious for us. I would roll up on him cocky as fuck. I do. You know how like Gogeta in GT is really cocky? I'd do that. I'd be like, no, baby Vegeta. What a name. What a ooh, you want to be in a nursery? I would be like trying to like aggravate him because I feel like I'm gonna beat him easily because I can just like imagine shit, and then I feel like I quickly realize as soon as when I was imagining a crib, it wasn't forming around baby, that I'm about to take a L if I don't go into combat mode real quick with my armor. Let's see. Munchies said hi. Yo, Munchies, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. How's your day today? Do you have any questions for your boy? And do you have any discussion topics you'd like to talk about on the stream? Let's see. What are other things that happened today? I chilled for a little bit with Dad and his wife as they watched the news and they watched Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones still is boring. I've never gotten into it. I don't like it. That's just my opinion, though. If you enjoy Game of Thrones, that's totally fine. But they're watching like one of the close to last episodes, so I'm like, maybe this will be more hype. Like maybe it'll be more interesting. Nope. Same, very slow, boring pace. Don't vibe with it. They need to put something in there to make it more interesting. I don't know what it is, but it's lacking. Let's see. I watched a little bit of Pokemon Sun and Moon. Beth is really into Pokemon, so I'm trying to like reevaluate how I feel about Pokemon and see if it's something that I really enjoy or not. So I decided to watch some of the English dub of Pokemon Sun and Moon on Netflix. I liked the first episode. Now I think episodes are just kind of flashing by. I'm just not really fucking with them. Like I'm like doing other things and the episodes are playing in the background and I'm just not paying attention. They'll start fighting, and I'll look up when they start fighting, and then I go, "Why are they fighting?" And then I still don't know, and then the fight will end, and I'll be like, "Cool, that was an episode," and they're just kind of like blah, just going by at this point. Kel said, "Lol, like it doesn't work in the Supreme Kai of Time." Is like, check you freaking retard. Hey, I could see that. The Supreme that I feel honored that the Supreme Kai of Time has the time to pay attention to me be a dick. So that's yeah, I'm fine with her calling me a freaking retard. Also, yeah, I was wondering for Kels, this is a question. Are me and Winslow trained by anybody? Like anybody in the Dragon Ball universe? Like who are our mentors? How did we become time patrollers? You don't have to go into great detail like now. I'm just curious. Like if you have any ideas about that. Like were we mentored by anybody? How did we end up joining the time patrol? You know, things of that nature. Munchie said, "What kind of things do you talk about on your channel?" So, welcome to the Nickabenson channel. This is your host, your friend, your boy, Jetblack, the one and only, here with another exciting live stream. I used to talk a lot more about like college and dorm life, but I recently graduated, so I'm no longer in college. So now the channel is mainly about my life and it's about what you guys want to watch. So let me explain. So when it comes to being about my life, I do these vlogs. I do the vlogs every night at midnight. I talk about my day, and I also talk to you guys. I ask you, how is your day going? Do you have any questions for me? Do you have any discussion topics you like to talk about? The vlogs are really more of a discussion between me and the audience directly. I talk with you guys. I like to hear your thoughts, and we talk about pretty much whatever you guys want to talk about. But there are certain things that I don't really get into. For example, my friend Ryan is really into like religion. Well, sorry, Ryan's not super into religion. I don't know why I said religion. Ryan's super into politics and history. And I don't really talk about politics and history, but Ryan sometimes will go on big rants about those two things. I don't really vibe with that necessarily. But a lot of times we end up having discussions where we talk about like anime or video games, comic books. Normally we have like common interest and we can just kind of go in talking more about common interest. Speaking of video games, yo, Rocky Ford, are you still here? Rocky Ford was like, yo, can you check out my two Soul Calibur videos? And I don't think you ever posted links to them. If you're still here, Rocky Ford, I'd love to like see those links. And I could like watch them for like a little bit, maybe look at like a couple minutes at each and like give my thoughts on them. The last Soul Calibur videos you shared, I thought were pretty entertaining. I like the fact that when you're like kicking ass in Soul Calibur, you do a lot of like shit talking. Like you'll be like, yeah, yeah, you get into it, and I do really vibe with that. So yeah, Rocky Ford, if you're still here, feel free to like post those links. I'd love to check those out. So the vlogs are only like half of the content on the channel. The other half, well, it's weird to say half. Technically, we have three different things we do. We do the vlogs, we do the fan polls, and we do random shit. So I just talked about the vlogs. The fan polls we only do Monday through Thursday at 1 p.m. By the way, this coming week, there's not going to be a lot of fan polls. Also, dang it, my brain suddenly was like, am I still doing my niece's birthday thing tomorrow? That's a whole other thing. Real quick to answer your question, Monday through Thursday we do fan polls at 1 p.m. At 1 p.m., after you guys have voted in fan poll videos that I set up after the vlogs, you guys vote in like the comment section for what you want to watch. Whatever gets the most votes in the comment section of those fan poll videos is what we then do on the channel at 1 p.m. You can vote for anything that we've done on the channel before, whether it's like a discussion video, a reaction video, if it's like for me to like do a rap or to like play a game on the stream that I've like played before, you can vote for anything like that, and anything that gets the most votes is what we will then do on the channel at 1 p.m. So that's the fan polls. It gives you guys the ability to control what goes on the channel and watch what you want to watch. So that's the fan poll portion. And the random portion, sometimes I just upload stuff. And that's not regularly scheduled. I'll just do random uploads more or less whenever I feel about it. So that's what that is. So fan polls this week. Let me talk about how many fan polls we might have this week. I originally thought we might only have one fan poll this week on Wednesday. Now I'm not sure if we're gonna do a fan poll Monday or not. I told John Mason, yeah, I'm totally down for a fan poll without thinking about it because my niece's birthday is tomorrow. I'm supposed to ride and help get like pizza and cupcakes and take them to like my niece's school so that she can like have like a birthday celebration at school. The only thing is, it's something that I don't have to go to. Like I'm not the one getting the pizza, I'm not the one getting the cupcakes, but I want to go to it. I want to like celebrate my niece's birthday with her, and I don't know at what time that's actually happening. So I may or may not do the fan poll. I might want to restrain from doing the fan poll tomorrow. I don't want to promise you guys the fan poll, and I'm so sorry that I like hit up John Mason with that promise before I thought about it a little bit more. I really shouldn't have jumped the gun on that. So I don't know at what time we're doing everything for my niece's birthday. So I don't want to promise, hey, we got a fan poll going on tomorrow, and then realize that there's like a schedule conflict because I would not do the fan poll to make sure that I could like enjoy my niece's birthday with my niece. So that's my big thing. Tomorrow, I have two things that I'm focusing on: my niece's birthday and getting ready for the job fair on Tuesday. So I need to wash my dress clothes to make sure that they're ready for the job fair on Tuesday. I need to maybe go to the barber shop. If I was to go to the barber shop, I would shave like this part of my hair, like I get this shaved down a little bit more. Um, and then I would get like the gruff that's right here. Like you see how the beard stops here, but the hair keeps going. I'd get like that cut down, and then I'd have them like shape up the beard, not necessarily make it lower, but if there's any like hair like sticking out, like you see how there's like little hairs like around here, I have them like, excuse me, snip that just to make that look neater. I wouldn't do anything to the dreads. It would just be cutting the sides down lower, and that'd be about it. And of course, getting like an edge, like here, and like a neck trim in the back. But that's all I really want at the barbershop. That's why I'm like, about whether or not like I really want to go. That would require me to like drive just to go to the barbershop and come back. And the way that you enter where the barbershop is, there's this weird turn where there's a blind curve where people can just come out and you could potentially like hit someone. And I haven't been driving for a long time. I've driven to the barbershop before, but I kind of don't want to put myself in situations that feel accident prone, and that feels like an accident prone situation that I wouldn't want to do. Let's see. Matt said, not Matt, Ryan said into anti religion. Then Nani said, we need more streams with Nick. Nani said, I'm surprised Ryan and Matt aren't here. Ryan is here. Ryan's actively in the live chat. Nani said, you're going to do it at school? Yeah, my niece is like a little kid. So she's still in school. And it's her birthday today. So I want to go and help bring cupcakes and pizza to help her celebrate her birthday. I just don't know at what time that's going to happen, which is why I can't guarantee a fan poll for tomorrow. I think it would actually be safer for me to say no fan poll tomorrow. Sorry that there's no fan poll tomorrow. I just don't want to like set up the fan poll only to then be like, sorry, can't do it, birthday. Plus, that'll give me more time to try and get anything that I need to get done for the job fair early. Another thing that I'm thinking about when it comes to the job fair is that I could probably print off more resumes. Now that I have like updated new resumes, I could go to like FedEx or something and get like a bunch of copies printed of my updated resume, and then I could take them to MITRE. I don't know how many I need actually because of the fact that it's a job fair for a single company. I don't know how many hiring managers I'll be talking to. I don't know how many interviews there'll be. But I'll probably like trim my nails. I don't think they're too long, but I could just kind of put a little bit of maintenance on them. Trim my nails. Um, Maybe just get like the light set up. Like I said, get this like cut down. Get the edge like in the front and the trim in the back, and then maybe have like the little extra hairs that pop out like cut down. I just don't like where that barber shop is located for driving. I don't like making that weird turn where it seems like people could kind of, and people like to drive quickly through that. I don't know, I don't really fuck with it, but I could try and get all that set up tomorrow and make sure that my clothes are washed. I think first thing in the morning, I'll probably like wake up, exercise, maybe like eat some cereal and burritos, stuff like that. Shower, get my laundry set up so that can like start washing. Probably finish up my laundry and check on any like job sites where I could apply more. So do that while the laundry's running. At some point in the day, I don't know at what point, niece's birthday, and then maybe get all my hair stuff set up. I'm not sure. But the job fair isn't until 4 p.m. Tuesday. Let's see. Nani said, do it, trim it. Ryan said, hi. Then go to a different barber. So that's the thing. So I've been to Rocket City Barbershop. I've been to this other place that I don't know the name of. It's kind of more of a ghetto barbershop, but it has good people. It just feels a lot shadier than it actually is. And I've been to Sports Clips, and Sports Clips is my favorite out of the three. Rocket City is what I grew up on. It's like right down the street. It's really convenient. Um, but I don't really want them to accidentally mess up anything. No offense to them, they just haven't seen me with all this hair. I don't want them to get the wrong idea and just start messing up. I've gone to them before, and I would always ask for like the same haircut, and sometimes they'd be like, "What? Oh, I thought you wanted me to like do something extra or do something weird." And I don't want that to happen. I don't want them to be like, "Oh, when you said edge, I thought you meant you wanted all of the front stuff cut off." It's like not necessarily. You know what I mean? So I feel like at Sports Clips they do a really good job of asking you exactly what you want and making sure that as they're doing stuff that they're doing the stuff that you want. Um, it's a lot more like questions, like trying to make sure that they're doing the best that they can. Also, I feel like at Rocket City, they talk a lot more. I feel like your haircut is likely to be interrupted by a conversation. Same thing with the other place. And I understand the idea of like talking at work and like having fun, but at Sports Clips, when they talk, they don't like stop cutting your hair. They focus on both things, and they try their best not to mess up, and they try to give you what you want. At the other barbershops, they could, in order to make sure not to mess up, they just don't cut your hair and you're just there for longer. I like how convenient Sports Clips is. You can set appointments ahead of time. I just don't like the location. I feel like if they were positioned closer to my house and they were easier to get in and out of, I'd vibe with it just a lot more. Let's see, Nani said, go to another barber then. And he said, true. Never go to S new barber. True. Yeah, like my current thing is I wouldn't want to just try a new barber out of the blue. And out of the three that I want to go to, Well, not that I want to go to. Out of the three I've been to, there's one in particular I want to go to, and that's Sports Clips. It just has like a weird in and out thing. I don't want to like go into it and then put myself at higher risk of like a potential accident. I don't think I'd be in an accident. Like I don't think it would go badly. I just don't want that to be like a possibility. You know, I know that I could very confidently drive to Rocket City. I just don't think Rocket City is necessarily the quality of barber I want. I want something that's as good as Sports Clips, but it's just easier to get into. That's my whole thing. Let's see. Oh, I got to text with Beth today. We didn't text all day. I think we started texting. I texted her like good morning, and her cat wasn't feeling well, and she was afraid that like her cat was maybe gonna die because she has like an old cat. It's like a 16-year-old cat, and she's like the cat's been like sick recently and hasn't really been getting better. I don't know what's gonna happen. And then she told her parents about it. They took it to the vet, and the vet was like, "Your cat has like asthma," which I thought was interesting. But the vet was like, "Your cat has asthma. Here's some antibiotics. Your cat's gonna be fine." And then Beth had like a solid rest of the day. She just kind of rest and relaxed for a bit. We really started texting around like 8 p.m. It like hits around 8, and we start doing like a very consistent back and forth text. We're still trying to like learn more about each other. And long story short, by the end of the text, we're both like, we think this could really work out. We think maybe we could like do like a boyfriend girlfriend thing. But that's nothing that we're trying to confirm right now. We're still like one more date, you know, really feel it out. And we don't have to decide on that one more date, but Beth feels pretty confident that she only needs one more date before she's like, yeah, I could do the boyfriend girlfriend thing. Nani's like, I see. Let's see. I told Beth two things about me that I was surprised that I hadn't told her before. One of the things is how I got my nickname. So, as you guys know, I used to do the crime fighting stuff. We had the city watch group where we go around and we like report crime across the city. I didn't know how she'd react to that. She actually didn't say anything about that. It didn't seem to like go by her mind at all. The other thing I told Beth about, she seemed more interested in. Um, so there's this girl, Catrielle, who I used to go to high school with, and I find her rather attractive. And we had this thing where I like wrote her like a little letter. And I told her about like how I thought about her, and she's like, "Oh, I think you're attractive too." And I was like, "I just want to be friends," because at the time I had a girlfriend and she had a boyfriend, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm also down with just being friends." And that's it. But now I'm single, and she goes to the same school that Beth goes to, and I just wanted Beth to know, like, hey, there is a girl that goes to your school that I find attractive, but I'm not like trying to pursue her or anything. I just wanted Beth to know because of the fact that if we were to like run into her for whatever reason, or my friends all know about Catrielle, so like if my friends were to bring it up, I don't want Beth to like suddenly be like alarmed or think it was like a surprise. And she took it rather well. She was like, "Yeah, as long as you don't like spend more time with her than you do with me, or as long as you're not like romantically interested in her, or as long as you're not like doing stuff with her, then that's cool." And I was like, "Yeah, that totally makes sense." And we set kind of like some ground rules on what we define as like emotionally cheating and like things of that nature. But I feel like that's like good progress. Ryan said I built another new deck. Oh, ballin'. What's your new deck? Is it like a custom thing? Is it based off of like a pre-existing archetype? What's going on? What's going on with your new deck, Ryan? Hit me up. I'm still looking at the fan art that your boy Kells did of Windjet, the Winslow Jet Fusion. I'm digging it. Doom, 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 doom. Let's see. I'm gonna click latest. I want to see what all is on the amino. Nothing new. Posted directly to the amino yet. Excuse me. I haven't been on SoundCloud in a little bit. That's not true. I get on SoundCloud whenever I drive. But I haven't been casually listening to music at all. A matter of fact, I think the only leisure activity I've had all day has been, I guess, eating and showering and a little bit of Pokemon Sun and Moon and texting with Beth. When I was hanging out with my family, I realized I didn't really talk to them that much today because I had my laptop up and I was like applying for jobs and stuff. I wanted to like talk with my family while we were hanging out and like watching the news and stuff like that. But I feel like I was more engrossed in the applying for jobs than I was with my family. But I do want to spend more time with them as much as I can since I'm like living here. Like if I'm actively here, then I might as well. You know what I mean? Nani said, would the name Mask be a cool name for a dog? That's an interesting name. I guess my question would be, why? Does the dog, the way that its fur is patterned, look like it has a mask? To which then I'd say, yeah, that's like a cool and very appropriate name for the dog's appearance. If you're like, nah, I just think it's a cool name, then I'd be like, maybe. Like, if that's what you vibe with, then sure. If it looks like the dog from the mask, then I'd be like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. You know, I see the connection there. So I guess my question would be, why would you name the dog Mask? Would just be my interest there. Let's see. So what am I thinking about? Things with Beth are going good. I've applied to a whole bunch of things. Hopefully, some of them will work. Some of them will end up working out. Um, Pokemon Sun and Moon, I feel about. I think we're out of ribs. I think we now have eaten all the ribs, which is why I think tomorrow I'm gonna eat like cereal and like a burrito. Nani said, "What do you think of Sonic?" So, what do I think of the new Sonic the Hedgehog movie? I saw the trailer. I think the premise is interesting. So, I like the concept of Sonic runs so quickly that he releases this weird form of energy that's causing blackouts. So, it seems like the government is trying to stop Sonic from causing blackouts. They're trying to like hunt him down. And Dr. Eggman has been hired by the government because I guess they think he's the most brilliant mind that's capable of like doing it. But you can also tell that the government like thinks he's eccentric and don't really like his personality. I feel like Jim Carrey is doing a good job, at least in the trailer, portraying like his own version of Dr. Eggman. Like I vibe with it. So I'm fine with like the Jim Carrey part of it. And I'm fine with the government being after Sonic. That makes sense. I think the Sonic part is the only part that I don't understand because they're like Sonic says a line that has something to do with like I guess I have to save your world. Save your world from what? Like what is Sonic trying to stop? Because as far as we're aware, Eggman's just trying to stop Sonic. How is Sonic saving the world? Also, Sonic has like a human partner. He's like a police officer, I think. Um, I guess they're gonna be friends. I hope they don't do something stupid, like make the police officer named like Miles Prowler or whatever, like Officer Prowler or something. I think that would be stupid. Like I don't want the officer to be like a Tails replacement. I just want him to be his own character. So yeah. Let's see. Nani said because he has a shape of a mask, like the fur. Okay, cool. Yeah, then I think mask is an appropriate name for your dog. Or for a dog that has like a mask in its fur. That just makes sense. Nani said, "What do you think of Sonic?" I just answered that one. Nani said, "Yeah, Jim Carrey can save it." Yeah, I think the Jim Carrey part is gonna be fine. It's the Sonic part where I don't know how I feel about it. Also, the people working on the movie have said, "Hey, we've heard you guys complain about how Sonic looks, and we're gonna try to be better. We're gonna try and improve the look of Sonic the Hedgehog." So, hopefully, they like make those improvements, and Sonic looks better. The way that Sonic looks now, I think it doesn't look like Sonic to me, but I don't think it's the worst thing I've ever seen. I think it's one of those things where the longer you sit down in the theater, the more you'll get used to it. Let's see. Uh, Ryan said Sonic is Hop 2.0. That sounds gross. I never even watched Hop. Ryan, did you watch Hop? How was Hop? Kel said, "Can you peep at those DMs?" Yeah, I got you. Getting back on me, no. Let's see. So he said, here is Super Saiyan Windjet. He said, I mostly want your opinion on the hair. Okay, so here is Kel's interpretation of Super Saiyan Windjet. So with Super Saiyan Windjet, I notice we still got the jeans, but this is a rough and I feel like you want me to mainly focus on the hair. So on the hair, I like it. I like that you still show it pointing upwards, and that makes sense considering the fact that he's Super Saiyan, so you gotta have it point. But I also like that it still hangs down. You're like, we still have to have it somewhat emulate the dread appearance. So I like that it hangs down while also standing up. I do definitely vibe with that. I'm glad you didn't just make it all stand up. You definitely could have done that if you wanted to, but I feel like this helps still preserve the fact that we're both Winslow and Jet. I do think we need those robot legs though. I feel like without it, especially with the hair standing up, it just kind of looks like Winslow with robot arms. You know what I mean? So that would be my only thing. The robot legs I do think are needed, but I do think you're doing a good job with the hair. I like that it's down and up at the same time. What about? A. Let's see. Where we Nani said Mr. Eggman is fat though, lol. And then Ryan said not fat. Then Kel said I really want to watch the Sonic movie. And Nani said, I mean he doesn't look that bad though. Ryan said he's egg shaped. Nani said people are overreacting. So I understand why people don't like Sonic's design. I don't mind Sonic's design, but I do think Sonic's teeth look weird. I do think the fact that he's blue all over looks weird. I do think the fact that he's like furry is weird. Because Sonic, I don't really imagine him as furry because like hedgehogs have quills. And to be honest, I think if they had just put video game Sonic in the movie, I know that sounds dumb, but if they took the model directly from like the 3D Sonic games and just put it in the movie, I think that would have been fine. That's honestly what I expected when they said we were going to get a Sonic movie. I thought they were going to just take the 3D model we already have in the game and just put it in live action. And it would be like, people could be like, why does he look like a cartoon? And you could just be like, everything in his world looks like a cartoon. Problem solved. As long as it's consistent with itself, then it's fine. You know what I mean? So I'm fine with the Sonic design. I feel like they could have gone another way, but I'm not upset about it. I'm perfectly fine with even if they kept Sonic as he was going to see the movie. But I'm glad that they are taking into account how fans feel about it and trying to incorporate more things to make Sonic feel like Sonic. In terms of Eggman being fat, I'm glad they don't have Jim Carrey in a fat suit. I'm sure he'd play it up. I'm sure he'd play it up really hard, but it's not really necessary. I don't think Eggman's character has to be fat for it to be played the way that it's been portrayed in the trailer. He's just an eccentric scientist who's kind of a dick, who's trying to stop a speeding hedgehog. I'm cool with that. Let's see. Kel said the Sonic movie is either going to be laughably bad or surprisingly good. I feel that way too. I don't think Sonic is going to be a middle of the road movie. I feel like I'm going to enjoy it regardless. Like Kel said, I'm either going to make fun of it like during like the parts where it's bad, or I'm either going to really enjoy the parts where it's good. I'd be very surprised and disappointed if Sonic is a straight up mediocre film. I think it either is going to be pretty good or it's going to be so bad it's good. I don't think it's going to be middle ground. I'd be very surprised. Let's see. Ryan said, fuck no, I'm not watching videos on Hop. I've seen enough. Oh, wait, sorry. He said, fuck no, I'm not watching Hop. He said, I've seen a couple videos on Hop and I've seen enough. Interesting. You've seen those hard Hop shit ons, I guess. Kel said he does have robo legs if you scroll down. So Kel's that. I'm not sure if you're about to blow my mind or if I'm about to blow your mind. I think I see what you mean. Yeah, he has my belt instead of having his. and it like cuts right here. Okay, I see you. The robo legs. I guess the reason why I thought they were the pants is because originally I thought this was like Winslow's belt. Actually, that's the watch. I just realized. I thought we were seeing the belt through the arm, but that might be the watch. That or we are seeing the belt through the arm. I'm not entirely sure, but I see where we have the difference here. I guess I thought the legs were gonna be bulkier. So if you just look at that, it just still kind of looks like the pants. But as long as it's self-consistent with the other Robo legs, then it's fine. So let me scroll up to the older Robo legs pictures. Yeah, it's a similar pants feel. I feel like everything on this looks wider, but I kind of thought the Robo legs were big, 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 which is why I was like, I don't really see the Robo legs. Yeah, I just thought they were thicker than they really were. Yeah, okay. I definitely see where you're coming from with those Robo legs. Let's see. And we have more stuff of Kel's to look at. So real quick, I'm gonna read through the live chat and then show more of the Kel stuff. So then, Nani said Ryan shaped, and then Nani said the drawing level. Hey, ballin'. Glad that you're enjoying the drawing as well. Ryan said they should use the model from Wreck It Ralph. The Wreck It Ralph Sonic is straight up just Sonic from the games. So yeah, I agree. They definitely could have just used that model of Sonic and it would have been fine. Nani said, "Would you want to see Knuckles and Tails in the movie?" Depends on the plot. Are there going to be Chaos Emeralds in it? I can't tell if the movie is going to have Chaos Emeralds. That's a pretty big Sonic the Hedgehog staple to like pose a lot of what's going on in the story around trying to gather all the Chaos Emeralds. If they do, then that would be a great reason to have Knuckles. Tails could sit out of the first movie, in my opinion. Tails is a cool character, but I don't think he has to be in the first one. They could do like what they did with the games, where Sonic didn't have Tails, like as his like sidekick who followed him around in the first game, but in the second game, him and Tails go on all their adventures together. So I could see maybe a hint of Tails or like a scene with Tails in the first movie, and I could see Tails being a very important part of the second movie, but we'll have to see. Let's see. Ryan said Jim Carrey is pretty much an ass. Kel said, I really hope they keep it only Sonic. Maybe save Knuckles and Tails for a sequel that'll never happen. I think if they do Chaos Emeralds, Knuckles might be able to fit. Ryan posted a link. I imagine that's a link to a video on Hop. Am I lying? I might be lying. I'm not sure. Ryan, what is that link? Then Kel said it was the belt through the arm. Oh, okay. And then Kels has art of Super Saiyan 4 Baby. He said this is the first time he's ever drawn Baby. So, how do you like how he looks as Super Saiyan 4 Baby? Okay. So, here is his interpretation of Super Saiyan 4 Baby. I actually like it. I don't really know what I would change. I just think he did a good job on this one. Because you have like the ape stylization, but you still made sure to keep the lines on the face because the lines on the face are what really sell whether or not he's baby or not baby. So I do think the lines definitely sell it. I feel like the hair's right, the body's right, and it fits the style of the other characters shown for the fan art. So I think it just works. I feel like you did a good job on Super Saiyan 4 Baby. What are you guys' thoughts? Like how about his Super Saiyan 4 Baby? Let's see. Ryan said it's a link to Jim Carrey being an ass. Oh, so when you said Jim Carrey is pretty much an ass, you weren't just talking about like his performance as Dr. Eggman. You were just saying Jim Carrey as a person is a bad person. Why do you feel like Jim Carrey is a bad person? Also, we've passed the hour mark on the stream, so now this is the time. If you guys like want to talk about your day, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or discussion topics, make sure to hit me up. Like this is the time to jump in and like say your piece, and I'll keep it going as long as we like have stuff to talk about. But if no one has anything else to talk about, I'm gonna start doing the like sign out. So Ryan says it's a link to Jim Carrey being an asshole. I already read that. Kel said, I watched Hop and it was godly. So Kel's, was Hop like a godly abomination, which is kind of an oxymoron? Is it an ungodly abomination, or was it godly as like a really good film? I'd like to get your review of Hop. So Kels, hit me up. What is your score of Hop out of 10 and why? Ryan said, watch the video to find out about why Jim Carrey is an asshole. Okay, share that with me on YouTube. Nani said, Hop. So do you just want to talk about Hop? He said, what is that? It's a movie about a CGI rabbit who I think wants to be a drummer. I might be wrong. Kells has actually seen Hop, so maybe Kells could tell us more. Hop is an older movie. Kells says that he gives it a negative infinity out of 10. Why do you think Hop deserves a negative infinity? Is it so bad it's good, or is it just complete and utter swarbage, just out of this dimension bad? Um, but yeah, does anyone have any questions, comments, concerns, or discussion topics that you'd like to talk about on the stream? Peter the Rabbit, he had like a CGI live action film. I didn't see it, but I think that was the only live action rabbit film that I was like, I might see it. Because my dad used to read me Peter the Rabbit stories when I used to go to bed as a kid. So I was like, nostalgia? Is that enough? And then I looked at the trailers, and it seemed like the rabbit had a crush on like this woman who was also dating like a dude, and it was like the rabbit and the dude are competing, and the dude's trying to get the rabbit out of the garden. And in my mind, watching the trailer, I was like, this rabbit's not about to fuck this real life woman in this children's movie. I don't see how this could end in a way that would be interesting. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Let's see. Kel said negative numbers means it's ironically good. And then Ryan said people literally eat feces and hop. And then, and then he said, heard the Peter Rabbit movie was trash. You tickled me a little bit when you said people literally eat feces and hop. I just imagine that being on the front of the DVD. um, it was pretty good. I think if you had said people literally eat shit and hop, I wouldn't have laughed. I think part of you saying feces really got me. Do they eat rabbit feces and hop? Or is it like human feces and hop? Nani said lol. And then Ryan said, but they do. Kel said the shit eating is what makes it good. Is Hop on Netflix? Not saying that I necessarily watch Hop. And then Ryan said, yes, they eat the rabbit shit. That's what I thought. I was, if they're eating shit in Hop, it's probably gonna be Hop shit. What's the rabbit's name in Hop? Is his name Hop? Or is it just called Hop because you can hop to music and the rabbit's a musician? Ha ha, kind of a pun. Ha, rabbits hop, ha ha. Nani said, why do they eat it though? Does Hop like shit in their food? Does Hop shit in their mouths? Does Hop eat his own shit? And then Ryan said, because the movie is ass tier. An ass tier film. What are the top three like worst movies, Ryan? I feel like Ryan has like strong opinions on certain things. What are like the top three like worst movies? And then Nani said, so the movie is top tier. Huh. I just noticed on Netflix there's a show called Tuca and Birdie. It seems to be done in the same style as BoJack Horseman and has a bunch of anthropomorphic characters. I don't know if that would be cool to watch or not. I noticed that the Ingress anime is on Netflix. They have season one of the Ingress anime. I might watch that. Shit. That didn't seem bad at all. It's a Netflix original. I didn't know Ingress was a Netflix original. Let's see. Ryan said, I don't know. There are a lot of garbage movies I haven't seen. Fair, fair. Let's see. There's a Netflix anime. It's an action anime with werewolves. Seems like a fantasy thing. It's called Sirius the Jaeger. I probably wouldn't like that. I'm not really into medieval fantasy. I think I'll watch the Ingress anime though. I think that might be interesting. Baki is on Netflix. Gerard keeps telling us that it's like good as fuck and that we need to watch it. Not sure if I'll like it or not. I really like stuff with like superheroes and powers and stuff like that. I think the Ingress anime is cool because Ingress as a game tries to position itself like it's a game, but not really. There's actually all the secret stuff happening like behind the screen. You know what I mean? So I think having an anime based on Ingress is kind of cool because if you want to like feel like you're in the anime, you could just play the Ingress game, and I think it could definitely be like a cool way to get people like into it. So I don't know. I That's why I'm more interested in the Ingress anime than Sirius the Jaeger or Baki. But those are a few new anime that are on Netflix. Let's see, where we at? Nani said, what's good to watch on net?" Oh, okay. That's what I'm currently going through is like stuff on Netflix that I'm looking through. Nani said, "I watched Baki. It's good." Okay, Nani. I was gonna ask you to maybe go into detail about what you liked about it, but you've mentioned in the past you're not really good at that kind of thing. But you've told me that it's good, so based on that, I got at least two opinions. You and Gerard saying that Baki's good. Let's see. Ryan said, "I got you. Movie 43 is the worst movie." Movie 43 was pretty bad. I didn't like that movie very much. Movie 43 probably isn't the worst movie though. I think when a movie is so boring that you can't finish it, that is pretty bad. I think you can cringe your way through movie 43. Movie 43 tried to be really edgy, and in the end, it just ended up being not funny. I don't think movie 43 is necessarily so bad you stop watching it. Um, it's just not very good. I think when a movie's so bad you stop watching it, a movie is actually like really shitty. Kel said his favorite movie ever, he actually forgot the name of, and he's currently on a journey to find the name. He says it's about a horny girl in a Catholic school who's implied to have a mental disability, trying to win over the most popular guy in school. What genre is it? Is it like a romantic comedy? Also, have I seen the beginning of that movie? I think on Comedy Central, I saw the beginning of a movie, and it was a girl who was at a school. And I think I remember there's a scene where she's like really horny and there's like a tree, and I think she tries to like hump the tree secretly. And I think she gets caught, and there's like this big like comedy scene of her getting caught. Is that that movie? Or am I just talking about a random Comedy Central movie that has nothing to do with it? When you described it, that's what I thought of. I was like, oh wait, I remember something like that. Let's see. Nani said, "What about the Last Airbender?" As like the worst movie. Last Airbender, I'd watch all the way through. Like the M Night Shyamalan one, I watched that in theaters. I don't think it's a so bad Nope thing. Like I could watch that all the way through. Then Ryan said maybe something on this list. I imagine he posted a Wikipedia list of like a whole bunch of bad movies. Excuse me, of a whole bunch of bad movies. Kel said, "Yeah, there was a scene of her kissing a tree." Well, kissing a tree is really different, right? Than like fucking a tree. So maybe we're talking about the same movie. I don't know if it's necessarily the same thing. Let me look at more anime released in 2018 on Netflix. There's one called Last Hope. It's a drama anime, post-apocalyptic action. I'm not really into post-apocalyptic stuff, so I probably wouldn't vibe with that. They have Sword Art Online Alternative, Gun Gale Online, virtual reality light novel action anime. Watched a little bit of that with Matt. Not really my cup of tea. I'm not really into like shooters, and it's a show about shooters, about being inside of a shooter. High School Girl. Haven't watched it yet, but from what I can tell, it's like a romantic thing. This guy likes playing video games. There's this girl who's really good at video games. I think he crushes on her. It says manga, comedy, anime, first love. That might be interesting for anyone who's into like rom coms. Kells, you might want to check that out, based off of your interest in the other rom com that you mentioned. Let's see. Ryan said it might be one of the worst movies with that level of budget. Interesting. Kel said, well, she was full on fucking the tree. He said, I was dying it down. Well, if she was full on fucking the tree, we probably saw the same movie, though I only saw the beginning. Um, because I don't know how many rom coms there are where a girl full on fucks a tree at school. So, I mean, I think we've narrowed the list down pretty hard. Nani said, oh no, Nick, I know the worst movie on earth. Then Ryan said, I've seen all of Sword Art Online, Gun Gale Online. Ryan, what was your thoughts on SAO, Gun Gale Online? Because I'm personally not a fan of Sword Art Online. I watched the first 5 episodes, first 6 episodes, and I was like, I don't like it. And then Matt tried to get me into Sword Art Online Abridged, and I couldn't get into that either. Um, I felt like both were kind of ass. I watched a lot more of the fucking abridged than I did of the real show. Matt was like, "You have to like it." He's like, "We gotta watch like 14 episodes of this shit. You're gonna like it. You're gonna like." And I was like, "No, I don't like any of it, but I'll keep going. I'll get for your sake, Matt. I've had you watch so many things that you didn't fuck with, Matt. I'll sit through Sword Art Online abridged, and it was just kind of terrible. I didn't fuck with that at all." But what did you think of SAO GGO? It's definitely different from the other Sword Art, and I don't know. I couldn't really vibe with it. There was nothing in it to really hold my attention other than the idea that Homegirl was super fast. I was like, oh, she kind of has a power. That's interesting. But I didn't really see other things with powers in it, so I wasn't too intrigued. And like I said, it was a shooter. I don't really vibe with shooters. It was just kind of there. Nani said Dragon Ball Evolution. I saw Dragon Ball Evolution in theaters. This is what I always tell people when they shit on Dragon Ball Evolution. When I saw Dragon Ball Evolution in theaters, I didn't know that Dragon Ball existed. I knew Dragon Ball Z existed. I didn't know that Dragon Ball, like, I never knew that they had, like, a manga and an anime about Goku as a kid. I had only seen like certain parts of Dragon Ball Z. I had seen like the cooler movies, and I saw like a little bit of like when Gohan was Saiyaman and while his dad was dead in the other world. So my knowledge of Dragon Ball Z was like really small. My knowledge of Dragon Ball as a whole was like very condensed. And Dragon Ball Evolution comes out. And I go to the theater with my friend Montel, and we see it. We don't. Our parents aren't even there. It's a thing where they like drop us off, and they're like, "Hope you enjoy the movie," and we sit in the theater, and I come out of that movie going, "That was pretty good." Like in my mind, I was like, "Oh, they tried to like reimagine Dragon Ball as being like an American like high school movie. That's fine." I didn't know anything about like the source material, and looking back on it, I still think Dragon Ball Evolution is an okay movie. When you when you're not trying to compare it to actual Dragon Ball, I don't think it's that bad. It's probably a slow movie. Because I haven't seen it again since I saw it as a kid. But I imagine now there wasn't like too much action in the film. I think now if I was to go back, I want to see more action. Um, I know there's some weird lines in the movie. They probably could downplay some of the shit that they like overhype in the film. When it comes to like performances, I imagine a line where Roshi is like really hype about his own name. That probably was just there, but it didn't seem consistent with his characterization. I don't know. I'm not saying Dragon Ball Evolution is a perfect movie. I'm not saying it's the worst movie ever. I'd say Dragon Ball Evolution is like a mediocre film, but definitely a movie that I could sit all the way through. I don't think it would be too boring to not finish watching it. That's what I'm saying. For a movie, to me, to be like really bad, you wouldn't sit through all of it. That's my thing. If you really don't fuck with it, you'd be like, turn it off. Turn it off now. That's how I see it. Let's see. Ryan said, yeah, evolution is real bad. Which is worst, airbender or evolution? I personally would say airbender is probably worse than evolution. Nani says evolution's worse. Um, Airbender is just kind of disappointing. They tried to fit like a whole season of Avatar into one movie. And I feel like what I was disappointed by from Avatar was at the very end of the movie, I expected Aang to do the big water form thing. I was waiting for the movie to build up to the point where Aang becomes the giant water monster. And I don't think they did that in the movie. I think in the movie, Aang just makes like a really big wave or some shit. And I was like, what? How did they leave out like the biggest thing from the end? Um, but I remember walking out of Avatar The Last Airbender being disappointed. I remember walking out of Dragon Ball Evolution being like, okay, movie. Not the best thing in the world, but it was okay. So I would definitely put Evolution higher than Airbender. Keep in mind, these are two movies that I only saw once, and I saw both of them in theaters when I was younger. Kel said, yo, when I was a kid, it was my full on mission to watch Evolution. And when I did, I got bored and stopped watching it halfway through. Ooh, rip. I'm sorry to hear that. Ryan said, I've seen all of SAO seasons 1 and 2. Nani said, it's ass. Ryan said, I'd say Last Airbender is worse. He said, Airbender is a failure in nearly every capacity. Ryan is also a huge Avatar fan, so I understand where he's coming from. Kel said, I think Avatar is worse than Evolution because at least Evolution wasn't trying to Dragon Ball. Evolution is more of its own thing. I agree with that. Evolution feels like, yo, we're gonna loosely take elements from Dragon Ball and put it into like a CW show style movie thing. And I excuse it for that because I feel like it's really trying to be its own thing. I think people might have even liked Dragon Ball Evolution a little bit more if it just didn't have Dragon Ball in its name. Like if it didn't use the names of things from Dragon Ball in the movie and everything was just its own thing, I think people might have been like, oh, like, this isn't that bad. I feel like when you put it in the context of this is a Dragon Ball movie, expectations are shifted really hard. And it causes you to be like, this is like really ass compared to Dragon Ball. But if you don't compare it to Dragon Ball, if you compare it to a similar kind of movie of its time, Covenant. If you compare it to like the Covenant or something, then I think you'd be like, "Oh, this isn't that bad." The Covenant was a movie where I kept watching the beginning of it thinking it was really good, and then I'd be like, "Oh no, it's actually ass." It's a movie about like these boys and they each have magical powers, but the more you use your magic, the closer you get to dying, and when you hit like a certain age, you unlock like ultimate magical power or whatever, and it's a group of brothers, and one of them is about to unlock his ultimate magic powers, and he's like fucking this girl in high school, and it seemed like at the beginning it was gonna be like a kind of interesting movie, and then as you continue through the Covenant, you're like, this isn't that good. You can really quickly realize that the Covenant sets itself up like it's gonna be a movie like Underworld or something, and then halfway through you're like, oh, this is like for teenage girls. You're supposed to watch this and be like, certain parts are creepy, and oh, that guy with his shirt off, like it's supposed to be that kind of thing. It's not supposed to be like a what I thought it would be. I thought it would be like a coming of age story about dudes with superpowers. It kind of is, but I think it takes a back seat to just trying to like appeal to a very specific hot topic girl audience. So that I don't know why I just reviewed all the Covenant, but I think it's to say that Dragon Ball Evolution is a better movie than Covenant. I'm gonna say it here first. Covenant is a pretty bad movie, but I feel like it's not for my demographic. I feel like if I was a hot topic teenage girl, the Covenant might be the shit. Let's see. Ryan said, "Nah, it's the Last Airbender. Avatar isn't the worst movie title." I see what you mean. Avatar still is the highest grossing movie. Nani said, "What about Transformers 4? It sucked." Uh, which one was 4, Nani? I watched 1, 2, 3, then the Knights of the Round Table one. 1 was okay. 2, I wasn't a big fan of. 3, I wasn't a big fan of. 5, I was like, 5 is my favorite one. Oh shit, this is pretty good. I really liked the Knights of the Round Table shit. I thought that was dope. I don't think I ever saw four. Also, I'm saying five, but I don't really know if the Knights of the Round Table one was five or not. Um, is four the dinosaur one? I never saw the dinosaur one. I heard that one wasn't very good. Ryan said Transformers 2. I didn't really like 2. I think 1 and 5 were okay. I think 2 and 3 are kind of forgettable. Kel said, I'm going to go now. I'll see you folks later. And he said, yes, I meant it'll. Oh, he said, it'll see you folks later. Interesting. Have a wonderful night, Kels. Thank you for tuning in. Boom, boom, bow. See you tomorrow. Like I said, not going to do the fan poll tomorrow because I don't know when my niece's birthday festivities are going to be going down. Just FYI. Uh, Ryan said, I've seen Transformers 1, 2, and 3. I don't plan on watching 4 and 5. I want to see Bumblebee, though. I also want to see Bumblebee. I could see us possibly watching Bumblebee together if we could find a way to watch it together. More anime. So there's a Seven Deadly Sins movie. I couldn't get into Seven Deadly Sins, so I'm not going to watch the movie. Why would I? Um, Mom likes it. Um, Beth has watched some of it. I might try it again. I don't know. Nani said possibly. Oh, we got Sword Guy, the animation. It's an action anime based on a manga. It's like a fantasy anime. It looks like there's a sword. They give it to a baby, it looks like. He grows up. He's not a baby through the whole thing, though that would be kind of badass if he was. Looks like the sword has powers when it's soaked in human blood. There might be a whole bunch of swords like that. Shit, I might watch Sword Guy. Sword Guy could be interesting. I don't know. Next up, they got Devilman Crybaby. Yo, it has superhero as one of the tags. Why are they fucking lying? So I watched all of Devilman Crybaby. My friends really liked it. I didn't really like it. I think a few episodes in, I realized, nope, I just don't really dig it. It's just not really for me. Um, and then we watched the whole thing. And I was like, yep, I definitely don't fuck with it. Nani said the movie is cool too, talking about Seven Deadly Sins. And he said, I'm waiting for the next season. Ryan said Seven Deadly Sins is lit. He said, I haven't watched season two as I was reading some of the manga. Okay, I'm glad that you guys like it. I personally couldn't get too into it. I'm not super into like medieval fantasy stuff. So a lot of times I get turned off by that kind of thing. uh, Ico Incarnation, adult animation, action anime, sci-fi anime. Is it about an android? Oh, it's yeah, interesting. I might check that out. Don't know if I like it or not. Don't know anything about it, but I think the idea of the main character being an android might be interesting. So I might check that out. Be the beginning. There are no tags. I have no idea what it's about. The preview trailer looks gory. Um, oh, an unseen serial killer. Is it like a murder mystery anime? May or may not be good. Uh, says season one, episode two. So I guess my dad watched episode one. Be the beginning might be good. Looks like it could be good shit. So yeah, I might watch that. Aiko and Be the Beginning look interesting. So does Sword Guy. Might check that out. Let's see. Nani said, I read all of the anime. He said, well, so far from it, and it's good. Excuse me. He says, I really want it animated. And he said, Ryan said, I'm not caught up on the manga. He said, I'll catch back up sometime. And then he said, watch the Bee movie. And he just started posting bees. Let's see. We have Fate Extra Last Encore. Action anime, fantasy anime based on a video game. I haven't gotten into Fate Stay Night. Gerard really likes it. Avery likes it. Um, I think Colin likes it. Matt likes it. I don't know if Ryan fucks with Fate. I've never gotten into Fate. Um, It just seems like it's kind of there. Uh, Gerard's gone into detail about how like there's like a class system and how they like have different rankings for each of their like skill sets, and it has like historical figures who have been like reimagined. It's like these badass like superhero characters, and it doesn't really vibe. I don't vibe with it. It's just kind of there. We tried a magical girl one, and I was like, I might vibe with this magical girl one. And then Gerard and Matt were like, the magical girl, I don't really vibe with that. It's not really that good. Maybe if we watched it and it wasn't in English, I'm like, why would I watch it not in English? I don't understand. Nani said I got caught up on it because there was a guy who made it look cool. He made the manga look cool on YouTube, but he got banned for some reason. He probably put too much stuff on there. Um, so a lot of comic book YouTubers will show the comic and then they'll erase the words. And they normally don't get hit with like strikes as far as I'm aware. If you show like full comic panels with words and you go through like the whole comic or you show like a good portion of it, it's possible that you could get your content pulled off. So I could see his account getting banned if he was posting too much of the comic online. Now he said Fate's Day, and then Ryan said I like Fate's Day Night. He said I've seen Zero and Unlimited Blade Works only. Oh, okay. Yeah, I couldn't get into it. Dragon Pilot. What's this? Um, Drama anime, fantasy anime, TV. Let's see. So it looks like it's a relatively modern day anime. Has an interesting style. I'm surprised it's a drama anime. The art style makes it almost look like it would be like a comedy. Seems like it follows a little girl and a cute ass dragon. A cute ass dragon that has like mecha parts attached to it. That's interesting. Oh yeah, shit. The dragon turns into a jet. Um, I don't think I would vibe with this one. Shit, that dragon. Oh, what? The fuck? The trailer's showing a lot of weird stuff. Oh, seems like there's a lot of interesting shit going on with it. I still don't think it's necessarily my cup of tea. What? Okay. It's just showing more and more stuff that's like kind of interesting. Let's see. Nani said Saber is waifu. He said, what's worth it to watch, Nick? Re. My favorite anime are Samurai Flamenco, Baka and Test. Mob Psycho 100 isn't necessarily in my favorites list, but I really, really like it. Season 2 also seems like it's banging as fuck. Hunter x Hunter is really good. I skipped the beginning of Hunter x Hunter. I skipped to the Rescue and Killua arc, and then I liked the anime so much that I finished all of it before we got to see all of the dub on Toonami. I just started watching some of the English subs because it was so fucking good, and now I'm reading the manga because it's so fucking good. Hunter x Hunter is really good, but Samurai Flamenco and Baka and Test are like my top two like anime things, so that's what I really fuck with. Let's see. Ryan said I've been meaning to watch Dragon Pilot. He said I added it to my list, but I've got lots of other stuff that I want to watch first. That's understandable. Nani said, "What about Black Butler? Is it good? I've heard people say it's good. Haven't seen it." Ryan said Black Butler is good, but it has a gecko ending though. I believe a gecko ending is when it doesn't match the ending of the manga. It kind of steers away from where the manga went and kind of does its own thing. If I'm getting that terminology right. Let's see. Last Song is on Netflix. It's a drama, anime, fantasy, anime, TV. Now, I'm not into medieval fantasy, but I think I might fuck with Lost Song. Oh, I said Last Song. My bad. Lost Song. I've seen a trailer for it. I believe Lost Song is in a world where singing is magic and like through music you can like cast spells and shit. That sounds like an interesting premise. I kind of fuck with it. I want to see it in action. So, Lost Song, I might be into. I don't know. Violet Evergarden is a drama anime, light novel fantasy anime. Looks like a period piece. Um, I don't know anything about it. Don't know if I like it or not. Nani said, "What does it mean by list? You can do that on Netflix." Yeah, you can add stuff to my list on Netflix. Okay. So there's a robot woman in this anime. Auto Memory Doll, Violet Evergarden, drama anime, light novel, fantasy anime. I don't know if I'd fuck with it. I'm kind of into it. Robot girl with a master fights. I don't like that she fights in war. If it was just a robot girl with a master, and yeah, she could be like a weapon, and she like, seems like it's more like a love drama thing. Maybe I'd watch Violet Evergarden with like a significant other, but I don't think I'd necessarily watch it on my own. It definitely has some interesting shit in it, for sure, but I don't think it's enough for me to on my own try to watch it. Seems interesting. Let's see, Nani said, what about the new anime, The Promised Neverland? Have you seen or heard of it? The name sounds familiar. I don't know what it's about. Ryan said, I need to watch Violet Evergarden. He said, my sister watched it. Oh, okay. You seemed really hype about it. I assume your sister said that she really liked it. Um, Agretsuko, I could not get into it. I couldn't get into it at all. It's about this everyday life of this woman, but everybody in the show is like an animal. And when she gets aggravated, she goes into like heavy metal style musicals as like a little comedy thing. I just didn't vibe with it. The cutesy art style is cool, but I don't know. I can tell it's not really made for me. I just don't really dig it. Not saying it's bad. It's just not my cup of tea. Then it's showing like some anime Godzilla movies. I've never been a really big Godzilla guy. I'm more into like Kamen Rider. They do have an Ultraman show on Netflix that I've watched a little bit of, but I haven't super gotten into. Nani said, Promised Neverland is about orphans, and their fate is basically getting eaten by monsters. Is that the whole thing? Ryan says he's seen all of Agretsuko and he likes it. Okay, I'm glad that you vibe with it. Forest of Piano, drama anime slash based on a manga, coming of age story. Looks like there's a nigga in a forest. He found a piano. He played the piano. He looks like Sora. Looks like they drew Sora in the forest with a piano. Uh, I don't know how I feel about it. Is there something special about the piano? Let's see, Ryan. Oh, unboxing and review said, "What's up? Yo, unboxing. Welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. How's your day today? Do you have any questions for your boy? And do you have any discussion topics you'd like to talk about on the stream?" Right now, I'm just looking through 2018 anime on Netflix, and without watching any of them, I'm essentially just judging them by their cover, just straight up. So yeah, Nani said I need to rewatch Inuyasha. I forgot what happens. Nani said I was really young the last time I watched it. So my mom has collected all of Naruto. Not all of Naruto. My mom has collected all of Inuyasha. I've seen a good bit of Inuyasha throughout my life. My friends who have rewatched Inuyasha has said that it wasn't as good as they remember. As someone who's seen multiple episodes of Inuyasha multiple times over, because my mom will occasionally just fall on an Inuyasha like trip where she's just like, oh man, I need to like get back in Inuyasha, and she'll just watch it. She'll just start at the beginning and she'll just go all the way to the end, and she has all the DVDs. From someone who's seen a lot of Inuyasha, it's not really that good. I don't think it's bad. I just think it's there. Unboxing and Review says, I'm good, dude. I've liked and subscribed. Oh, thank you for smashing that like button and subscribing to the channel. Real quick, I just want to let you know what you're getting into. So I do vlog videos every night at midnight where I talk to the audience. I talk about my day and I ask you guys about your day. If you have any questions for your boy and if you have any discussion topics you'd like to talk about on the stream. And we just kind of talk and hang out. I do fan poll videos Monday through Thursday where you guys can vote for what you'd like to watch next on the channel. And whatever gets the most votes is what we then do Monday through Thursday at 1 p.m. There isn't going to be a fan poll today, sadly. My niece's birthday is today, and I'm going to try and go to my niece's birthday party. So that's my goal for today. That's why there's no fan poll. There's actually not going to be a lot of fan polls this week. I just have a lot of stuff scheduled for this week specifically. Niece's birthday today, job fair tomorrow, Wednesday, I'll definitely do a fan poll. I don't have anything planned Wednesday unless I get a job at the job fair, which will then change my whole schedule. Um, Thursday, I'm hanging out with Dozer and Serena. Friday, I have a date with Beth. Saturday, I'm hanging out with the guys. Sunday is Mother's Day and it's my birthday. So not a lot of fan polls this week, but we do vlogs, fan polls, and then occasionally I'll just post random content. But that's the stuff that we do on this channel. So based on that, you can determine whether or not you want to subscribe or not. I wouldn't just jump into subscribing. I'd recommend checking out other videos on the channel, seeing if it's the kind of stuff you're into, and if it is, then I'd subscribe. But definitely check it out first. I don't want you to like see a bunch of videos pop up in your subscription box that you don't actually like really vibe with. So definitely feel free to check out the other stuff before you smash the subscribe button. I appreciate it. I just think it's worth checking that out first. Nani said, it's just there. Then Ryan said Kagome Inuyasha for like 20 minutes or something. He said my sister was watching it. Not sure if she finished. Um, my mom's super into Inuyasha. I'm personally not a huge fan of it. Um, I don't know. It's weird because I'm trying to figure out what I don't really vibe with. It's medieval fantasy, but it also has like an interesting like time travel element to it. Um, I like the concept of the jewel shards, like the Shikon jewel or whatever. They're trying to collect all the pieces of the jewel and put it back together. If you get the jewel, it can grant you a wish, but individual shards of the jewel, when inserted into like someone's body, grants them like additional power. So it can make people like almost superhuman, and it can give demons like a extra level boost to make them even more terrifying demons. And the more jewel shards you have, the more powerful you become if you actually insert them in your body. Kagome is a girl from the present who's traveled back in time to the feudal era of Japan, and she has the ability to see jewel shards because she's like the reincarnation of a priestess who was fucking a half demon, whose father was the king of demons, and his mom was a human, and his brother is trying to become the new king of demons, and everybody hates Naraku because he's a dick. Because he was a dick, and then he died, and then he fused with a bunch of demons, and he becomes like a super dick. Inuyasha's okay. I wouldn't go out of my way to watch it, but if it was on, I wouldn't necessarily turn it off. That's my opinion of Inuyasha. It's just kind of there. Nani said, He said, oh man, my GF is really mad at me. Why is your GF mad at you? Ryan said 99 pieces of jewel on the wall, 99 pieces of jewel. Let's see. There's another Agretsuko. It's a Christmas special thing. I imagine it's more of the same, but Christmas. Though, I thought something similar about the Neo Yokio Christmas special, and then it actually ended up being a lot deeper than I thought it was, and not as funny as I thought it would be. It was a really awkward watch. It was me and my friend Ray hanging out, and we thought that we would be hanging out and being like, yo, this is gonna be like a funny show, and then the Christmas special wasn't as funny. It felt like it was supposed to be taken more seriously. I just didn't vibe with it as much. It was kind of boring. Flavors of Youth International version, drama, anime, adult animation, anime feature. Let's see, Three Cities. What about Three Cities? Three Stories. Okay, it's an anthology movie. One Vision, a Netflix original anime. I mean, the art looks really good, but I feel like it's gonna be three slice of life drama stories. It's probably good. It's just not my cup of tea. It's probably something I'd watch with a friend. It's not something that I think I'd go out of my way to watch on my own. Let's see. Nani said she was having a bad day and I just made it worse. Oh, Nani, how'd you make it worse? And do you feel like you can make it up to her? How do you feel about it? Are you gonna like try and help her feel better? Ryan said take one down, pass it around. 98 shards of jewel on the wall. Oh, sorry, 98 jewel shards on the wall. That's what he said. Let's see. Unboxing and review said I've just checked out your other vids. The fire, and he put up a bunch of fire emojis. Cool. I mean, if this is the kind of content that you like, feel free to check it out. A lot of it is really long, like this. Like it's me just streaming, talking to you guys directly through the camera, or me streaming on like the PS4 and still talking directly to you guys on the camera, or me streaming like something in the browser and I talk to you but you don't necessarily see me. That's like the kind of content that we do. A lot of streams, not edited content, just kind of hanging out. Ryan said, "Yeah, I've seen the Christmas special." Oh, okay. There's a Violet Evergarden special. Well, like I said about Violet Evergarden, I probably would only watch that like maybe with a significant other. Feels like a date thing. Um, Hero Mask. Apparently, I started the first few seconds of Hero Mask, and then I didn't keep going. I don't really know what Hero Mask is about. Let's see, I see people with masks, I see guns, I see a lot of people sipping tea. I think it straight up just did a montage of sipping tea. It just showed a whole bunch of cars. I think there's a montage of cars stopping. More niggas sipping tea. Oh my gosh, what? More cars, cutting, more cars, traffic, cars, guy with people with guns, eyes, yellow eyes, guns, sipping. Holy fuck, why does the trailer have so many people just sipping drinks? People getting on the phone, just a montage of people getting on the phone. It's eyes, just another eye shot. Holy fuck. Phone. Holy. I feel like you guys might think I'm making it up. I want to show this shit to you. Give me one moment. Give me one moment. What the fuck was that trailer? That trailer was atrocious. Okay. So, no, show me the trailer. Show me the trailer again. Here we go. Here's the fucking. This trailer. I'm gonna show you guys when there's like a big montage of some shit. Oh fuck! I moved my cursor away. Uh, but that caused it to stop. Cause whenever the trailer gets in a weird montage, it gets really gross. Okay, fuck. So car. Gun, sipping, car. Car, guns, guns, sipping, phone, I, gun, eyes, running, gun, phone. And that's the trailer for Hero Mask. I don't know what the fuck it's about. I think there are gonna be a lot of phone calls. There's gonna be cars. There's gonna be zoom ins on people's eyes and a lot of sipping. Just a shit ton of sipping. I don't know if I'm gonna like Hero Mask or not. Let's see. Um, Nani said, "Well, it was earlier in the day. I don't remember what I did, but I think she's on her period." I mean, if she's feeling bad, you could still like try and comfort her. Nani said, "What about Devilman?" I saw boobs in Devilman. I did not like Devilman Crybaby. I was not a fan of that. It's just kind of there. Unboxing and review said, "What movies do you like?" My top three movies of all time at the current moment: Fantastic Mr. Fox is my favorite animated movie. Favorite stop motion animated movie: Fantastic Mr. Fox. Favorite buddy comedy, like buddy cop comedy: The Other Guys, starring Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg. Favorite PG-13 style monster movie: Gremlins. Those are my top three movies: The Other Guys, Fantastic Mr. Fox, and Gremlins. Nani said lol. Then Ryan said lol. Ryan said sip that water out your bottle. Then Jay the Fox said hole from France. Yo, Jay, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. How's your day today? Do you have any questions for your boy? And do you have any discussion topics you'd like to talk about on the stream? Jay might have meant to say hoy. But yo, welcome, Jay. Good to have you. Ryan said, "Hey, I need to watch Fantastic Mr. Fox. I'd watch it with you." I remember there was at least a week where I watched Fantastic Mr. Fox every night. Also, my dad hates Fantastic Mr. Fox. I don't know why. Jay the Fox said, "Speaking of foxes, by the way, hey, Jay, welcome. How's your day? Do you have any questions for your boy? And do you have any discussion topics you'd like to talk about?" Backstreet Goku Dolls is the last thing listed on Netflix for anime released in 2018. Really liked it, watched all of it. Great anime. It's about a bunch of Yakuza guys who fuck up, get a sex change against their will, are turned into Japanese idols, and it's kind of a dark comedy. Love it. Um, I was gonna say like top comedy anime. I'd probably say I really fucked with Baka and Test. Like I like that. I did like Backstreet Goku Dolls. It probably would be in my top comedy anime somewhere. Um, and I had a third one. I had a third one on the top of my head. Psyche K is really good. Psyche K is a good comedy anime. The beginning of Reborn definitely feels like a comedy anime, and then it slowly becomes more of a shonen. I'd say those are probably my top four off the top of my head. I may have others that I'm just not thinking of immediately. Nani said, "What anime? What are we talking about?" I feel like if I had read that at the time you said it, I probably would have known what you were referring to. With you just saying what anime, I just have no idea. But yeah, those were all the anime released in 2018 on Netflix. If you guys ever want me to do an anime, well, not an anime list, but just like go through a list of things on Netflix and just talk about each one based off the cover, like I did here, feel free to ask me to do so. Like in a fan poll vote or something. It seemed interesting. I enjoyed doing that, I guess. Fox at Crack's Neck. Any opinions on furries? This is what happens when you give me the option to start a discussion. I'm perfectly fine with furries being a thing. I'm fine with people being into furries. I'm fine with people like dressing up like furries. I'm fine with people identifying as furries. I'm fine with like furry culture. I myself am not a furry, but I'm fine with other people who are like into that kind of thing. As long as your interests don't hurt other people, then I think it's totally fine for you to be into whatever you're into. So, yeah, I'm totally fine with like furries. Nani said, yes, do that. Okay, cool. Yeah, if you guys ever want me to like go through a list of things on Netflix and just talk about the cover of stuff, feel free to hit me up. Then Nani said, sigh. Yo, it is now almost 2 hours into the stream. Normally the vlogs are only 1 hour. Where I'm at, it's 2:02 a.m. Your boy Ryan said, My Ordinary Life is top tier comedy anime. Hey, there we go. Got a review from Ryan. Let's see. Jay said, just saying, it's not a kink. It doesn't have to be. So, some of my friends feel weird about furries and think that all furries do it in a sexual way. But that's not true. There are people who are furries and it has nothing to do with their sexuality. It's just like something that they like closely identify with and it's like a part of like their lifestyle, but it doesn't necessarily have to do with like their bedroom life. It doesn't have to be a sexual thing at all. Um, I wouldn't say it's not a kink. I'd say it's not a kink for everybody, but there definitely are people who do have it as a kink. So I'm not saying it's the majority of furries. I'm just saying there are people who are into furries for the kink. Not saying that everybody who's a furry is doing it because of a kink, but I'm saying that some do it like that. And then Nani said seems like it. Like I said, not saying the majority of people see it as like a kink who are like furries, but there is like a minority. I mean, I don't know what the proportions are of the population of who sees it as kink and who doesn't, but I don't think it's the majority. I don't think the majority of people think it's a kink. I don't have numbers or stats to prove this. That's just my personal belief based off of experience and running into people who are furries. Let's see. Ryan said, I agree with you on furries. Okay, ballin'. Let's see. Nani said, I need to catch up on Black Clover. And he said, I see it as that. Jay said, Agretsuko is a great furry anime, by the way. Would 100% recommend. Let's see. Then Ryan said, would recommend. I tried Agretsuko. I couldn't really get into it. I just feel like it's not really the kind of show that I'm into. My friend Serena loves it. Ryan's watched all of it. Like I said, I'm not saying it's like a bad show. It's just not my cup of tea. Like in my opinion, I just don't really vibe. Let's see. Excuse me. Nani said, "Is it good?" Ryan likes it. Jay the Fox likes it. Serena likes it. I mean, there's definitely like an audience for it. Nani said, "So is it about like some furry stuff?" Agretsuko has anthropomorphic animals, which I think is different from furries. Then Nani said, "I'll skip that." It's up to you. I mean, it all depends on what you like and what you don't like. I just realized I watched 7 episodes of Pokemon Sun and Moon today, and I'm not really a fan. I'm just gonna call you Well. Welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. How's your day today? Do you have any questions for your boy? Do you have any discussion topics you'd like to talk about on the stream? Good to have you, Well. Not sure if you're about to troll or not. We're about to find out. Let's see. Also, real quick, I'll be right back. I'm gonna get something to drink. I have something stuck in my throat. Do you ever like swallow wrong? You just start coughing. That's what I currently have. Let's see. Nani said maybe one day. Ryan said anthropomorphic animals. Then Nani said Pokemon. Yeah, I tried some Pokemon Sun and Moon. Beth, I've told you guys about Beth. We have a date coming up this Friday. She's really into Pokemon, so I'm trying to figure out if there are any Pokemon shows that I like vibe with, because it could be another way that me and Beth kind of connect on things. Um, I watched the first episode and I dug it. Every episode since maybe the first two or three, I just feel like I haven't really been watching. It's been playing in the background, and I just haven't been actually paying attention to it. And whenever a fight happens in it, I just zone out, and then I go like, "Wait a minute, why are they fighting?" And then I don't know why they're fighting, and then I just kind of ignore it. But yeah, so far I can't tell if I like it or not. Liked the first three, and the rest just seem like they're there. Let's see. Well said thanks, and he says he's not memeing anymore. He said you're cool. Thank you kindly, Well. Truly appreciate it. Ryan said that Agretsuko is about anthropomorphic animals being depressed. And then Nani said, yeah, like a Nick thing. And then he said, what? Jay said, I like the OG Pokemon. I also liked OG Pokemon. I liked OG, and I liked the one that had May and Max in it. Max is probably my favorite supporting character in like a Pokemon show. They have a Max-like character in Pokemon Sun and Moon who would be my favorite character, except I hate him. He's kind of garbage. So in Pokemon Sun and Moon, they have this guy who's like a programmer, and he's really into technology, and he's like an inventor. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's the character who I feel like I most relate to out of like all these other characters. I hope they do some cool shit. And he does like a challenge against Ash where he like outsmarts Ash to where he uses Pikachu's power to his own advantage to win the challenge. And I'm like, "Oh, that's cool. Good for him." He seems like kind of a dick though. I feel like what he did was fine, but it's just the way that he like goes like before he like does some shit makes it feel like it's almost a little malicious, even though I feel like that's not what they're trying to go for. And I'm like, I just kind of don't like that characterization for him. I want to see more of him being an inventor and being into tech. And then he's like kind of fat, which there's nothing wrong with it, but they do the thing where he's like physically clumsy, so they'll run and he'll like trip and shit. And I'm like, oh, I'm losing patience for this character. He could have been good. The programming guy didn't have to be fat. He didn't have to sit around and eat Cheetos and shit. I don't know what's going on with him. And then I think I saw an episode where he was like scared or some shit or something like that. And I'm like, why does he have so many negative qualities? Like the only thing I like about him are his hobbies. And that's just not enough of his character for me to really dig. I don't know. Max I felt like was much better. Max was into like his technology and shit. And Max was kind of cocky, but he also was like a little kid, so you understood why he was cocky. And it was something that he just needed to grow out of, and you could watch him like grow up as the show continued. He doesn't get like super old, but you see him mature a little bit more. And I like the dynamic that he had with his sister. Um, Max was cool. This not Max guy is kind of weak sauce. I don't really fuck with him that much. Let's see. Nani said, "What do you ignore?" So when I'm watching like Pokemon Sun and Moon, right? Once we got past episode 2, I was also like applying for jobs and shit. And while I was applying for jobs, I noticed that like I wasn't paying attention to anything that was happening. It was on the screen right in front of my face because I have like a big screen where I have Netflix and I have a smaller screen where I'm like applying for jobs. It's right in front of my face. I'm hearing the show and I'm just not actually paying attention to anything. And then it just seemed like it would breeze by. I feel like if the show was potentially more interesting, that wouldn't happen. But I feel like one thing that Pokemon kind of suffers from, in my opinion, is that there's a lot of Ash running. Ash will like talk to people and learn new things. That's cool. I like whenever Ash learns something new and he's really enthusiastic about it. Um, I'm not as much of a fan as Ash running. It seems like it's happening too much. Ash is constantly like, "Oh, I'm gonna be late. Oh, what's that? I'm gonna chase after it. Oh, we gotta hurry to like get somewhere." And I feel like it's filler. Whenever they show Ash run somewhere, that's actually just to fill time. So there's a lot of Ash running. I like Ash making new connections and making new friends. Whatever the like thing of the week is, I always think is stupid. Like whatever the Team Rocket plan is to like steal a Pokemon, I don't care. And the reason I don't care is because Ash is never like Team Rocket. Ash is always like, "What's going on? I don't know what's going on." And then Team Rocket shows up and they're like, "It's us, nigga. It's us every episode." And I go, "Yes. Yes, it is. Yes, it always is you." And then because I'm so zoned out, I don't know whatever the Team Rocket plan is. So I'm like, there's somewhere, I guess something's happening. I don't, they're fight, why are they fighting? I know Team Rocket's involved, but what were they actually doing? Like, what was the plot of the episode? I don't know. And then they fight, and then it just happens. I feel like the first few episodes were kind of cool because I felt like they were telling a very streamlined story. Ash is now in the Alola region. Ash doesn't know shit about the Alola region. The island guardian is like, "Ash, you're the shit. I'm gonna give you this special thing without you having to go through a ceremony because you're the shit, and it's gonna give you like special powers that most people have to work harder for." And I was like, normally that'd be like some Gary Stu shit for Ash to just have the special shit. But because Ash has done all these other adventures, I think it's a way for the people in the show who don't know Ash to know like, hey, Ash is a real nigga. He may not have earned this through your ceremony, but he's earned it through going through multiple seasons of bullshit. I was like, I'm totally fine with Ash just having this power and not having to like earn it in the traditional way. I feel like he still isn't like the best guy around. He's still learning. So even if he has this move as like his clutch move, that won't necessarily save him in all scenarios. And then within the first few episodes, they're like, he has the special power, but then he lost the special power stone. So I guess he doesn't deserve the power yet. He still has to do the ceremony. And I'm like, I guess I get that. Um, so I hope the show immediately goes into him trying to do the ceremony. And then they're like, well, hold on. Team Rocket's here now. So now we're going to have a bunch of formulaic episodes. And I'm like, wait, but shouldn't Ash go for the ceremony? Ash, like in episode 3 or some shit, goes, well, I guess all that means is I need to go and do the ceremony. And then I think the show's like, well, he'll do that at like the end of the season. That should be like the end season where he finally gets it and he gets like the special move. And I'm like, I hope that's not the case. I hope it's not a shit ton of Team Rocket bullshit filler before we get to the end of the season. Because you set up a pretty solid premise. Ash has gotten this great power in this new land, and now he's lost the power, and now he has to like actually earn it. Okay, cool. I'm along for the ride. And they're like, nope. He has to like talk to all the niggas, and Team Rocket has to try to steal a Pokemon every fucking day. And I don't want that. I really don't. I wish I knew specifically the parts that were like plot relevant, and I could just watch those. Also, I think Rotom is my favorite Pokemon. It's the Pokemon that like possesses the Pokedex or whatever. I think that's cool. I just imagine if I was in the Pokemon world and I caught a Rotom, I would like make little machines, like little toys and shit. And I just have my Rotom like possess it and just bring it to life. I think that'd be dope. So I think that's what I want to do if I was like in the Pokemon world. Let's see. Ryan said, when this is over, I'll watch Boruto episode 105. Then Nani said OG was better. I think he's talking about OG Pokemon. Then Ryan said Doggy. Then Nani said Ash hasn't grown up on them. Why? Um, it's weird that they don't let Ash grow up. Ben 10 got to grow up until they rebooted and he's a kid again. But still, he grew up for multiple series. Original series, Alien Force, Ultimate Alien, and Omniverse. He gets pretty old. He jumps maybe like 7 years older from like 10 to 17, I think, in the course of those like four series. Original Alien Force, Ultimate Alien, Omniverse. Yeah, four. And multiple movies. Not bad. Not bad. But I mean, Ash hasn't grown up the same way that like the Simpsons haven't grown up. Ryan said Doggy X Machina Murphy. Don't know what that is. Jay said anthropomorphic depressed animals with heavy metal sprinkled in. That's Egretsuko. True. Then Ryan said DOG X Machina Murphy. Still don't know what that means. Jay said Team Rocket needs to eventually die. I don't know how many times they can fall out of the sky and not die. It's actually quite impressive. Ryan said, or take over the world. Ryan, I see what you guys are saying. They either need to finally lose or finally win. Let's see. Jay said, you need to work at Pokemon. So to actually like work at the company that like makes Pokemon stuff, I think it'd be interesting. Um, because I would have some ideas, but to be honest, I don't think I have enough credibility to work on a Pokemon game. So I do program, and I actually do have a sponsorship with a company. I'm like making a game for them, though I haven't been working on that game recently because I've been very busy trying to find a job to fulfill my scholarship obligation. Once I have a job, I can start working on that game more steadily again and stay in contact with that company, of course, and keep producing that game. Um, but I feel like I need to know a lot more about Pokemon before I would even try to work for like the Pokemon company. Nani then asked, "Am I going to sleep?" Um, if you guys don't have any more questions or discussion topics, or if nobody wants to talk about your day, then I probably will wrap it up. So, does anyone have any questions? Blah. Does anyone have any questions? Discussion topics, comments, concerns? Just want to talk about your day? Going once? Going twice? Doesn't seem like you guys have like more stuff to talk about. If that's the case, it's like almost 2:20 a.m. I'm probably gonna go to bed. Then Nani said, thank you all for watching. If you like this video, make sure to smash that like button, favorite, comment, subscribe, and ding ding ding, ring that notification bell to be notified whenever we do these live streams. This is your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Black the One Only, logging out. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I'll see you at midnight for the next